In the name of Iran, in the name of humanity, in the name of Kuros the Great or Kurosh the Great, I would like to talk to my fellow countrymen, Iranians, and also especially America and England, in order to clarify that we Iranians have understood what is happened and what might be happening. First of all, I am referring to the agreements made between Iran and also different countries, especially Great Britain, Russia, France, United States of America. The first main agreement was made 1872 as Anglo-American Agreement, or so-called Reuter Agreement or Barron Reuter Agreement. This agreement is 1873 amended and prolonged with Russian, English or Anglo-Russian Persian Agreement. This regulates especially the British part, the delivery of all mines and minerals of Iran, whatever, to Great Britain via Barron Reuter, a Jewish man born in Germany and taken the servantship or workmanship for the British intelligence service. This agreement even regulated the printing of Iranian money and regulating having a so-called bank shahi, which had print money, printing rights of money, and all other actions in regard to Iranian finance. The development of Iran is coming through different steps from United States of America, through bringing missionary people and non-missionary people to Iran and creating high schools or colleges. The first school in Iran was made by Amir Kabir, a very great Iranian man who created this Darul Funun. Darul Funun was a college based on more French system, and he's been killed because he had very modern ideas through British agents in the film bus in Kashan. The other agreements for the education are being made between Persia at that time and America, and they created American College of Al-Bors. And this Al-Bors was the very famous, I am one of the scholars of this school, and there was very two famous deans, directors. One was Mr. Jordan from America, and one was Dr. Muhammad Ali Mujtahidi, who was professor for analysis and also director of this school, of this college. The agreement between Iran and three other partners called Triangle Agreement or Mahide Sejanebe was made 1906. At 31st of August 1906, it was Great Britain, Russia, and France who had already agreement about Iran, and based on that made an agreement for misusing Iran in these years because they knew about oil. This fundamental agreement shows the development of schools in Iran and also all other matters which happened in Iran, especially in regard to the oil and other minerals and also other works done in Iran. The third agreement, which was very bloody, very dangerous for Iran, was made 1953 between the Shah of Iran and Muhammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, and the American CIA are coming back to Iran. He promised to give oil and gas to them and to take the oil from the so-called Anglo-Iranian agreement away, because the majority was in the hands of the British government. The main work for taking this away is being done through Dr. Muhammad Ali Mossadegh. Dr. Muhammad Ali Mossadegh wanted a real monarchy based on the parliamentarism and based on the decision of parliament. Shah wanted to decide alone, and this system was not acceptable by Dr. Muhammad Ali Mossadegh. So the British government took a man named Mr. Ayatollah Kashani, another man Mr. Falsafi. This both caused this disaster for Iran, because if the idea of Dr. Muhammad Ali Mossadegh would be realized, Iran would have a quite good life and Shah will remain on his dynasty and he will not lose his crown and his country to the Mullahs. After the so-called putsch of 28th of Mordad, Qiyam 28 Mordad, which was caused by Mullahs mainly, and with some people like Shaban Jafari, who was killer, knife killer, and Mr. Fazlullah Zahidi, an Iranian officer who was also a killer. Shah organized through killing few people to come again back and gave Iranian oil to the new consortium, and that American part was dominating from 1953 until 1978. This is very important to understand that the old agreements from 1996 and 1873, the Russians and the Great Britain was dominating, and through this change 1953 America came more in Iran and became more dominant. But America made a very huge historical, sociological failure, because they asked the Shah to agree upon the immunity of the Americans if they make any failure from juridical point of view, if they kill any person, if they are drunk by driving whatsoever, or if they make sexual abuse of Persian woman, they cannot be claimed. This was the killing of the dynasty of Shah, because based on this, Mr. Khomeini, who was angry about the father of the Shah, and at the same time who was the agent of British government based on his education and based on his scholarship by the British intelligence service. Please read in my, or view in my videos, the connection between Mr. Khomeini and William Richard Williamson. William Richard Williamson was a British agent, and he taught Khomeini and he asked to do everything. The other teacher from him was Ayatollah Kashani in Iran. And at the same time, Iran had a huge development between 1953 and 1978. But the social development of Iran and the development of democracy, development of other things is not been done. And based on this fact, the British government, who had better knowledge about Iranian sociology, Iranian cleric people, Iranian mullahs, based on the, at least that time, 100,000 mosques, means 100,000 multiplied with minimum, let's say 20, 30 people, a minimum makes a lot of people who was the followers of Mr. Khomeini. And Mr. Khomeini's agreement was the disastrous agreement of 1978. Before Mr. Khomeini and other people with him came to the flight in Paris to Tehran, the agreement was made that America, Great Britain, France will get Iranian crude oil. Based on the agreement made by the European community mainly and NATO people in Guadeloupe, it was agreed that take Shah away and bring Khomeini. This was mainly based on the so-called oil interests. But in this agreement of 1978 was dominating United States of America, Great Britain, France. And that time Russia was too weak in order to act. So after Khomeini came to Iran, he has decided to work for his old boss, old directors from British government, and gave the oil more to British government free of charge from south part of Iran. And based on the agreement from 1978 and 1873, Russians came to the play, say, aha, we are also there. We want to have oil from north and gas from north, and you can give oil and gas from the south, we are Qatar, free of charge to Great Britain. We want to have, based on the agreement 1873, also from north. So in this equation, Khomeini said the big Satan of America, etc., etc., and what make takeover of the American embassy. But at the end, between Great Britannia and America was an agreement to have subdividing of oil and gas in southern part of Iran. This third agreement was disaster for Iran because Iran has lost identity, flag, monarchy, and history, and all types of the social life in Iran. And this is going on. In this equation is not being calculated by the neocolonialist countries, Great Britain, America, France, Russia, that Iranian people can have also own development. In between, Iran made a very huge development. The wars made with Iraq, killing of Iranians, all was of agreement between Mr. Khomeini, America, England, France. He agreed before he is coming to Iran, before he is putting his foot to the flight, that he will kill Iranians, he will kill that man, that man, that man. It was a listing there. And everything is organized by CIA and British intelligence service. And now we come to the point that this is not the solution, because the basic problem of America is CIA, not the solution, but the problem is CIA. Because this CIA cost 2,500 billion costs, 2.5 trillion costs for the United States of America as nonsense. War with Iraq, war with Afghanistan, etc., etc. Instead that America must go and take care about sociology of this country, as Great Britain has done. The war with Iraq is done by America, but the winner is Great Britain because Iraq belongs via Iran to Great Britain. And now we stay towards a huge disaster because for sure the Russian military is in south part of Iran, and overnight they can take Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and other oil countries, and this will be 70%, 70% of the whole oil and gas of the world, and this cannot world make such a risk. Therefore, they must take the mullahs away and operate the Russians away, and this will be a very huge power balance. In order to do that, this is not done by military action, this must be done through Iranian power. Out of Iran, through Iranian intelligence, not model Libya, not model Iraq, model freedom, model wisdom, model understanding of Iranians, and Iranian Sepah, Iranian Artesh, Iranian Jambazan will help Iranians, and the son of Shah is no solution because he has no knowledge, he is not experienced, and other people as well, like the Mujahideen Khalq. Please stop the wrong direction. Iran doesn't want to have another war. We want to have peace and freedom. Also, even we don't want to kill mullahs. You want United States, you want Great Britain to kill the mullahs. We don't want to kill them because you want to destroy the information. We want to keep the information. And we want to develop the country. And with killing, we cannot make development. And I hope you have understanding, and you shall go and develop also your country, like Germany and China is doing. Thank you.